Welcome everybody. If you are thinking about going into the mobile detailing industry, which is a great industry by the way.
It is.
You're gonna have to build out a mobile unit.
That's correct.
So in this video, I'm Jason, this is Tony, we're here at Ralda's Details. We're gonna be building out a mobile detailing slash film van. So we're gonna make this like a window tint, paint protection, and some detailing. I wanna talk about the plan. First thing I want to ask you, Tony, is starting with a vehicle. Like this is like when you think about somebody getting into the mobile detailing industry, great, awesome. We're gonna go to the customer's house or their business and we're gonna detail or film their vehicle, whatever it is. Correct. We need a vehicle.
Yeah.
What is the perfect mobile detailing vehicle?
Perfect mobile detail vehicle
is the one you have in your garage right now.
Exactly. But anyways, it all depends. This depends on how you want to start, you know?
Yeah.
Because as well depends on the budget that you have. So you can start from the trunk of your vehicle. Like this, that's the beauty of the mobile detailing. You can start from any vehicle, you know.
Right. But I've seen a lot of people just, you know, whether it's like a Prius or whatever it is, like any type of vehicle, you can just start right out of it.
But I would say that's kind of like to start, but it all depends on to what level you want to bring your business. You know, for our case, the vehicle that we like is the Ford Transit Connect. We have 3 of them. And we love those vehicles. For many reasons, you can carry everything that you need to do mobile detailing. And as well, they are very cheap on gas. So it's really nice. And a lot of people, you know, like when people come here, you know, they pick either the ProMaster City, Transit Connect, Mercedes Metris, or sometimes if they want to go big with a bigger van, it can be the Chevy 1500, I believe. Chevy Express. That type of vehicles, they are really good. But it all depends on what exactly you need, you know, for your business. Yeah.
Now I like the van because it's enclosed and you don't have to worry about anybody coming in to steal your stuff. You can put everything right in there. But have you done a lot of trailers? Like the other option is like an actual truck or a vehicle that can pull a trailer and you can pull that trailer around. How about the trailer option? What do you think? What are the pros and cons from a enclosed van versus a kind of like a truck and a trailer?
The truck and the trailer, the only thing is if you have to go to tight areas, it's gonna be for you know, for us or for some people, it's gonna be difficult, you know, to maneuver, you know, around homes and stuff like that. So you have to have, whenever you go mobile, you have to have a big space, and you need to communicate that with the client. Which is, I have a lot of people that they come here and they build the mobile trailer setups, but it depends on where you're gonna be directing your business as well. I would say if you're gonna be working on downtown, I won't recommend to, you know, get a trailer.
That's true.
Yeah.
I always liked it when you could, you know, be able to even drop off a trailer. Say you had multiple trailers and you could have somebody drop off a trailer. You're doing a large job or a big job, come back and trailer. But yeah, there's always pros and cons of it.
Exactly.
But, so I haven't had a mobile I had one 20 years ago. And so this is exciting for me because talking about the plan, going through and seeing the different options now. I'm sure a lot has changed in the last 20 years since I was mobile detailing, because I actually started off with like 255-gallon tanks, like drums that I cut the top out of. And I had like a pump that would pump to an actual garden hose. So I didn't even have a pressure washer most of the time when I first started. And then I had a generator, which was extremely loud and it took up a lot of space. And so what you can see around us here is some of the tools and equipment that we're gonna be adding to the van. So this is gonna be several series. It's gonna be a series, it's gonna be a build out series. There's a lot to do to the van. Can we go through the van right now?
Yeah.
And can I kind of explore what's in your head when you look at a van? Like when you start the layout, what are the necessary things? Like obviously we need a water tank. We're gonna be using water, unless you're gonna do like some sort of rinseless or
you can do that too.
Waterless, but I don't recommend that. So can you kind of look at this van? Let's take a look at this van. And I like the Mercedes because I was looking at the Ford Transit Connect, but this is going to be a little bit of a different build because I want to add in the film part of it. So I would love to have a plotter in here, and I would love to have some film storage. And you can see, you know, like our box there, that's a 60-inch roll. And that is a big box, and you have a couple of those, and it takes up a ton of space.
Exactly, yeah.
So, looking at this, why don't we walk through of what you look for and what you know, think about and need in a mobile detailing unit?
I mean, in this case, since, you know, we're going to be doing mobile detailing and as well the film, I would rather do everything when it comes to do the detailing on the back section. And I would say this is a perfect space, you know, to set up the plotter and as well the film. So to me, like thinking about a plotter, you know, you want to have the plotter to a certain level, you know, where you can work comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
So like the plan when you call me, you know, I was always like thinking, you know, about how we're gonna do this. But I'm thinking that like if we raise the plotter, you know, with a nice slider,
slide it
and
out,
have some like a compartment underneath, you know, for the film, that would be great. That way you can slide it out, you know. If you need film, you pull it out, you set your roll and everything. And that's how I will do it. I'd rather do it underneath than you can also do underneath and as well on above the plotter if we have the space.
Yeah. So I like the idea of pulling the plotter out because I've seen one other gentleman on YouTube that actually has the plotter in his van.
Okay.
And he'll actually get in his van and then he'll print everything out that he needs. Which is fine. I mean, he sits in there, but for me, pulling that out, I feel like we'd have more space and a little more maneuverability within it too. And this is too the mobile film aspect of it. So mobile detailing's been, I mean, that's easy to do outside. You can always find shade, but film is a whole different animal because you can't apply a whole lot of films outside unless you have perfect weather conditions, like no wind, you know, it can't be too hot, it's gotta be perfect. And there's probably not many days that we can actually apply or install film outside. So I plan on, you know, if I go to a customer's house, they'll have to have a garage, a little bit of climate control, but moreover, I'll probably end up doing some sort of like dealership, maybe like preloads on dealerships or something like that. I'm gonna explore that. We'll see what works and what doesn't work. But this is a whole new ballgame for me, thinking about the film aspect of it too. So I know we will have, I still want to be able to do detailing out of it too. And it's going to be a little bit of a show van. One of the issues that we talked about already is the road noise. And you can see, obviously, the wheel wells right there, and not much cushion or anything there to absorb any of the noise that we see. And then we got very thin walls on the outside. You know, do you see that once you build out a van, there is a lot less road noise once you just build it out? Because
it is a lot less because you're gonna fill it up. You are filling up, you know, the space. It's kind of like when you get into a shop and it's empty, you can hear like the echo and everything. You know, it's kind of similar. But I would say like if we can kind of wrap the walls and do some type of like insulation, like a spray foam type of insulation, that will kind of help a lot as well.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So need a water tank. What size water tank do you usually recommend?
For us, like I've been working with 65 gallons and as well 80 gallons. 80 gallons I think is like the sweet spot, you know. Because when it comes to detailing, unless you're gonna be doing fleet work, that's a different type of service, you know. Then you need a lot of water. But in our case, since we're gonna be detailing, like I would say a good detailer by itself, it can do 2 vehicles a day.
With like 65 gallons?
No, like, I mean, with 65 gallons, you can do up to 3 vehicles. With 80 gallons, I would say you can do like 4 vehicles. But like what I'm saying is like with the time that you have to detail and move from one location to another one, you maybe can do 2 vehicles. If you have a helper, maybe you're gonna be able to do 3 vehicles.
Yeah, you want to be doing more than just a normal exterior wash.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then do you think, I mean, so 65, 85 gallons in here, planning this, I mean, that's probably the biggest weight that you have on it. So you kind of want to center that over the wheels usually.
Yes, that's exactly where we like to set our water tank because that's kind of where, you know, the majority of the weight is going to be. I think it's a good idea to plan that really good, you know, either with vans, with trailers, with the trucks. Make sure that the weight is going to be distributed on the vehicle.
Yeah. One of the things that I want to explore is like the latest technology in power.
Okay.
Right? Because I've looked into like power inverters, like using the actual van and the van's gas for power. Otherwise you have power banks or you have generators.
Yeah.
What do you prefer when you're looking to get power to this stuff?
I've been using a lot of generators.
Yeah.
Like one of our favorite one is the Predator 3500.
Yep.
Or the 5000 now that is now available. But I'm kind of as well like experimenting right now to do like it's like a solar or you know like a battery type of generator or something. I forgot the name.
Like the power banks here. So
kind of like yes.
Yeah,
correct.
this is the Ego Nexus, and we're going to try this out. And one of the things that I am fearful of is like this is not going to be enough power to actually power the things that we need to power. So we already know, we've already tested that Nexus with the pressure washer. It's the AR Blue 630.
The AR Blue 630.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. But the Predator does power it.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it may only power that alone and not like a buffer or some other stuff that you have.
Exactly.
Like you're not going to be able to run
by
your
itself.
Yeah, you're not going to run your pressure washer and the vacuum at the same time.
Actually, with the Predator 3500, you can do the vacuum and the air compressor, or if you got your steamer, you can do the steamer and the air compressor, like two tools at a time. Something that I like to use, and it's something that I implement this like years, like I want to say like 6 years or 7 years ago, is the remote controls. Because you can, you know, control the van, you know, from the distance. Let's put it this way, like let's say that you are detailing the interior of the vehicle. So you got your vacuum hose, your air hose, and as well you got your steamer. So you got the three tools there with you. So, but let's pretend that you are vacuuming, you know, and you are done vacuuming, but at the same time you are heating up your steamer, you know?
Yes.
So you're vacuuming, heating up the steamer, but let's say that in some areas you need some air, you know? You can just simply turn off the vacuum, turn on your air compressor, blow, do what you gotta do, turn it off, and then go back to vacuum, you know, with the remote control. So that's something that I implemented a long time ago on the setups.
Efficiency.
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 Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Okay, so our plan is, and I'm going to just show you some of the stuff that we have here real quick. So we have the Nexus, and make sure you guys subscribe because we're going to be doing follow-up videos. I'm going to be testing a lot of this stuff individually and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And again, this is my experiment, and especially with the film, so I might change some of this. So we got the Nexus here. This is a 100-watt solar panel that connects, you know, you can take this out and just set it next to the van while you're working to power it up. I don't know how much power that's actually going to give the batteries and everything, but this is, you know, battery powered. It actually has different batteries that you can take off and change and everything. We have the battery powered vacuum, battery powered blower, and the battery powered pressure washer. And so I'm going to go with as much as I can as battery powered and make this you know, eco-friendly and I think quiet as possible because the Predator is pretty quiet. It's not that loud, but I want to see how quiet we can actually make it.
Yeah. I have a good example. I have another van that is with the battery type of setup, which you already saw. Yeah. And it's a good example, you know, what you're going to be looking like. Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, coming back to the back of the van. So the plan is put the tank somewhere in the middle.
Correct.
And we're actually going to cover it. So this is going to be, what is that?
This right here. Okay, this right here is a setup that we, so far we got one done, which is the prototype, and that one there is actually on one of my vans.
So I'm the first customer that gets it?
Yes, sir.
Woo!
So anyways, this is instead of being welded together, it's going to be a setup that is going to be bolted together.
Okay.
So everything that we do is we made it out of aluminum for many different reasons, because, I mean, three reasons. The first one is the aluminum doesn't get rust.
Yeah.
And as well, it's lightweight. And we also like it because it's very sturdy, you know, like the thickness of the aluminum that we use is very sturdy, so you can do the setups, and that thing is gonna last forever, honestly.
Yeah.
Like you have to grab a hammer and do something to it in order to do some damage to it, honestly.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so that is going to enclose the water tank.
Enclose the water tank. We're gonna have a shelf on top of the water tank. We're also gonna have a back wall. The floor as well is aluminum, and as well we're gonna have a shelf on the back section of the van. That way you can kind of utilize the space for anything, for towels, for tools, or whatever you want.
Yeah. And then we're gonna attach actual air hoses. I don't know if we're
Correct.
gonna use that one or not,
Yeah.
but we're gonna attach actual air hoses to it, so it's easy to pull out and organize your hoses.
Correct.
And your cords and whatever else you wanna use. So another thing, because that's going to be a little bit different here, we're actually going to put some tanks in there, because if we're doing film, you need a solution to be able to put the film on the vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to test out putting the tank. I know that you've already done this in one of your vans.
Yes,
too.
actually I have one of the optical kegs
Yeah.
in my van. And what I did is I set the keg and then I put it on a 50 feet reel. And that's kind of like, I can use it, in my case, I can use it for a chemical line, you know, like the product that you use the most. In our case, we use a lot of Super Clean. So we put Super Clean on it, you know, and it's pressurized, so you don't have to be pumping, you know, stuff and things like that. But for obviously, you know, in this case, the keg is going to be for what it's made for, you know, for the solution for the film, or maybe the tint, the window tint as well.
That's awesome. So that'll be in the back here, and then
Exactly.
the front will be plotter and film area, which we still don't have the plotter. It's ordered. It's going to be delivered to Chicago, so that'll be another part of the video. So, but I think we have a lot of work to do, and that's kind of just the start of the plan. And I'm sure there's going to be some modifications and some changes as we go working on this van. So make sure you subscribe, because we're going to have a couple more videos of putting the van actually together. I got one more last question.
Okay.
Planning. One of the most important things when you plan a mobile detailing van is how much is it going to cost? So, and I know this can vary, so I'm not going to hold you to anything, but like, you know, and you don't have to do any of this, right? You can just buy a vacuum, some soap, some buckets, and you have a business, which is awesome, which is great. But the more professional you get, and if you really want to do this long term and make it a career, I'd recommend being efficient, building out a van. Average cost. Budget.
I would say, like, when it comes to equipment wise, starting with the cheapest stuff, I would say anywhere from like $5,000 a starting point. I would say if you got $5,000, you can start.
Yeah,
with
probably up to
cheapest stuff, you know.
20,000.
Oh, you can go crazy. You can go 25, 30. Yeah, I done setups of 35K.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there it is. That's the plan for the van. We're going to go ahead and get started on this build. So thanks for watching this video. Make sure you watch the next one. Later.
Take care.